Hello, and welcome to Ms. PM Reads Christian Content, where we are continuing in Abscond by GG Wagner. I did reach out to Gigi, and she assured me that this is a PG story and it is Christian based, faith based. There's a lot of grace going to be happening, and Lyzee's going to be okay. So, yay. We are continuing. In our last video, Milo was texting Lyzee while she was at the mall. She just really wanted to get out of there. Tara, the pastor's wife, was being exceptionally sweet. Lyzee didn't appreciate it. They finally head to the garage and she sees her mom. And so, her mom's the drug addict. So she tries to make sure Tara doesn't see her mom. She gets home, she FaceTimes with Milo and or somehow video chats. I don't know that it was FaceTime. And then her mom comes home. And unfortunately, her mother starts to hit her. And so I gave a little, like, please be safe kind of a chat at the end of that. But so Lyzee's got a tough life, and I hope that she'll be able to lean more on the pastor and his wife. Okay, the meeting. This is called the meeting. Closing one eye, Lyzee recoiled as if in pain, rolling the cursor over the grades on the screen. The disappointing comments were crushing. Not working up to your potential. Work harder. Senior year is important if you're still planning on college. Get your work done. Reading the final remark from Mrs. Price, a tear splashed onto the keyboard. How could they be so cruel? She felt the vibration from her phone, the sick feeling worsening. Scrolling through the barrage of messages he had left last period when her phone had been locked in Mr. Cook's desk drawer, she knew he was not too happy with her either. So, creative writing is more important. You owe me. He says that a lot, huh? Sorry, I was in class. There you are. It's about time. I've wasted half my day sending messages you just ignore. Lyzee turned in her seat. That clock could not be right. She was nowhere near being finished with her paper, and it was due in 15 minutes. Another low grade was not going to help. She walked to the office and signed herself out. Hope you feel better, hon, the receptionist said. Her mood instantly lifted as she stepped into the coffee bean, pausing in front of the counter to suck on the sweetness of the air. The owner, Ava, had her back turned, busy filling the glass display case. Lyzee smiled when she noticed her. Lyzee James, how in the world are you? I don't usually get the pleasure of serving you. What can I get for you today? Ava asked. A small black coffee, please, Lyzee requested. Lyzee paid before picking a seat in the back. She wasn't used to having so many good spots from which to choose. While waiting for her order, she unpacked her book bag, her head halfway under the table, plugging in the cord when Ava appeared, a cinnamon roll that filled the entire plate in one hand and a large coffee in the other. She laid them down, leaning her hand on the back of Lyzee's chair nonchalantly. Lyzee fought to keep the puddle of saliva that formed when she breathed in the brown sugar and cinnamon from dripping from her mouth. Her shoulders rounded, staring at the plate while attempting to avert eye contact. What are you working on? Ava asked. A paper for school. You didn't have to. Thank you, Lyzee stammered. You are my favorite customer, Ava said, patting Lyzee on the shoulder with affection. The creative juices were finally flowing. Between sips of fruity coffee and bites of cinnamon roll melting on her tongue, the white space on her computer screen began filling. The words strung into sentences that turned into paragraphs as she punched the keyboard. She jumped in her seat when the vibration of her phone rattled the dishes on her table. her fingers freezing over the keyboard. It had been 2 hours, and she had not thought of Milo once. BTW, by the way, I know how you can make it up to me. Talk later. Lyzee had a sinking feeling, almost certain what he was going to ask for. The last time she told him no, they nearly broke up. He insisted it was a matter of her not loving him, trying to force her to prove it. Lyzee shuddered, her mind replaying the humiliating scene. May I get a refill? It's the house blend, Lyzee explained to the 20-something girl behind the counter. Lyzee slipped the pack of hot chocolate mix from her backpack, stirring it into the cup, her version of a cafe mocha. After a long sip, it was easier for her mind to concentrate, and she poised her fingers above the keyboard while rereading the last sentence. A thought prompted her to action, pressing the keys as the words began flooding her mind. After all, substance abuse was something way too familiar. The tapping energized her with the words flowing freely. In her present flow state of mind, she had blocked out everything else, allowing the paragraphs to accumulate at a rapid speed until the ding of her phone stopped her mid-sentence. Aren't you curious about what I want? I think I know. I want to come and see you this weekend. Isn't your birthday coming up? Lyzee clasped her hands over her mouth, trying to contain the enthusiasm bubbling up. Before she could stop them, tears filled her eyes. He had no idea how much she was dreading spending her 18th birthday alone. She and Rory had been talking about doing 18 things to celebrate and had been planning them since they were in middle school. Wow. His plan was sounding so much better than crawling under the blankets and not coming out until Monday. Her phone was getting full attention while she tapped the screen, hoping this was not a dream. Saturday is my official birthday. I'll be 18. Guess I got caught up with you. I'll pick you up at your house, 7 o'clock. I'd like this to be just us. Could you get rid of your mom for the night? Oh boy. I mean, not that mom's a great person in her life right now, but oh boy. Okay, that's the end of that chapter. Oh, that was short. Well, you want to go another one? We'll go another one. Hopefully it won't go too long. Here we go. Birthday. Lyzee rolled onto her back and stretched both arms overhead when a smile inched its way onto her lips. Her thoughts rushed to Milo, and she sensed the sparkle that surely must be there. A commotion coming from outside the closed door jarred Lyzee from her daydream, and she sat straight up, her ears on high alert. A cabinet door slammed, followed by pots and pans clanging together. It took only a second for Lyzee to slip into her sweats and hoodie before she stepped into the hall. A sweet smell wafted past, and she inhaled deeply. Her smile deepened as she wondered if it could be waffles. In the kitchen, she found her mom at the table, a tourniquet tied around her upper arm and a needle in the other shaking hand. Her mom had an expression of lethargic calm, with eyes unblinking that might as well have been staring into the abyss. The hopeful thought of birthday waffles now replaced with reality. Lyzee's mood plummeted, and she stomped past the most pathetic mother ever. Her vision blurred, and as she remembered birthdays from the past, all of which had been equally disappointing, before she caught herself and corrected her thinking. Determination moved her to action. Not today. This was her day. Lyzee rummaged the shelves of the refrigerator in hopes of finding something that could be used for nourishment. The date stamped on the end of the egg carton gave her hope. Only a few days expired. She could work with this. Careful to avoid getting shards of shell in the bowl, she cracked them, added a dash of pepper and a splash of water before cooking them in a dry pan. She seeped the only tea bag between the 2 cups of water and inhaled the warmth before setting them on the table next to plates full of scrambled eggs. The silence that lingered in the room grated on Lyzee's last nerve. She swallowed a remark that teetered on the tip of her tongue, and her eyes filled with tears. How could the woman that gave her birth forget that today was her 18th birthday? Lyzee seethed as she stabbed at the fluffy eggs moving around the plate. That's okay, though, she told herself. Milo would be here later, and nothing else mattered. Lizzie's mom, nope. Lyzee met her mom's deadpan stare, ready to demand, at the very least, acknowledgement, but noticed her mom's half-closed eyes. Lyzee slid the plate out from under her mom's head, the shallow breathing a good indicator she was out. She opened the cabinet door and her hands clumsily pilfered through the medicine shelf, while her heart clamored against her rib cage. Please let it be here. An exaggerated breath escaped as she reached for the box and ripped it open. Her eyes scanned the directions as if this was the first time she had given her mom an injection of Narcan. Lyzee moved close, feeling her mom's breath flutter against her cheek. Okay, she's breathing. She took a step back and decided, with no other symptoms noticeable, to wait. This was the last one. If she and Milo were by the clinic tonight, she would get more. Lyzee moved across the kitchen to fill the sink with soapy water, but continued to glance over her shoulder at her mom's slumped form, holding her own breath to ensure that she wasn't mistaking her breathing for her mom's. Lyzee skidded toward the opening to the kitchen. Her fluffy stockinged feet slid on the worn wood floor. Her mom's breathing noisy and discernible from across the room. A pang of guilt crossed Lyzee's heart, her mind more focused on the date tonight with Milo than caring that her mom lay passed out on the kitchen table. Lyzee began to tidy up as best she could. Once the clutter was removed, she was discouraged by the state of disrepair things really were. It was obvious the carpet was worn out. The dirty walls were covered with unknown smudges, and broken blinds were shoddily disguised with faded curtains. Lyzee crumpled in defeat onto the stained cushion of the couch with her head in her hands. A breeze made the curtain move, and Lyzee caught a whiff of a fragrant rose bush. An absolute mystery how something so beautiful could thrive in such close proximity to this dilapidated house. Lyzee's pity party was interrupted by the sound of her mom's heavy footsteps as she staggered down the hall. The stealth movement of Lyzee put her directly behind the teetering steps of her mom. The awkward ramble ended when her mom plummeted onto the mattress and Lyzee returned to the kitchen. Lyzee pushed in her mom's chair and swiped the table one last time before she declared into the silence, "Well, at least it's a clean dump." Okay, well, that was a quick 2 short chapters. Lyzee's mom has a problem. Yeah, Narcan is a drug that can help people who are in the process of overdosing. I believe that's the case. I know certainly from, and I can't even come up with the drug now. At the moment, I took a course a long time ago. Anyway, okay. Well, the next title is The Date. So must be she's going to meet Milo finally. We'll see how that goes. Hope you all have a blessed day, and I will see you next time.